Hello, I'm Murray Newlands. Welcome to another episode of Performance Marketing Insider TV. Today I'm speaking with Brook Schaaf. He founded one of the leading affiliate management agencies in the country. They deal with major brands such as eBay and Quicken Loans, to name it a few. Well, I wanted to continue the series of trying to provide education for the industry. Brook, tell me, how did you get into affiliate management and what do you love about it so much?
So it just happens that back in the day, my brother and my current partner today, Forrest, was working in an incubator and got me a job lead at a company called Zappos.com, also in the same incubator. I became their first affiliate manager, had a lot of success with the program, and fell in love with the industry. I think because of the people in it, because it has such a nice balance between analytics and relationships. That was true back then, and it's still true today, 7 years into having an agency.
And what are your top tips for someone trying to run an affiliate program?
So I got a list here. I'll pull this together with the team this week. Happy to answer any questions. The first tip we have is protect and understand the brand in terms of the brands we work with our clients. The second tip is think small in terms of the affiliates that you work with.
Okay.
Clearly a lot of big guys are going to be on your radar, but you want to get down to as low level as possible with the niches.
Any tips for finding those small affiliates?
That is a great question. So we actually have a database that we use internally, and we coordinate quite closely with the networks as well.
Right.
And we use a lot of brute force methodologies. A lot of the tools that can be used to find people for SEO backlinks can also be used to find affiliates.
Okay.
We have there are probably hundreds of thousands of entities out there with a much smaller pool of productive, which we mean transaction generated affiliates. We have 13 to 14,000 of those in our database.
Right.
That excludes any eBay affiliates.
Okay. Thank you.
Third up, then, teach each new affiliate early on. Education is really important, and we find that time and again with brands that we work with. There are often something very subtle or confusing about a certain offer, and you have to get out there with the affiliates. We'll actually do webinars to go over what the offer is like and what a network is like to work with sometimes. Fourth up, then, is get to know your top affiliates well. I would stake out a particular number, say top 10.
Yep.
A small number like that will typically drive the majority of revenue, but it's easy to kind of say, but it's really important to do. Who are these people? What motivates them? Who are your contacts? What kind of offers they like? What are the busiest times of the year for them? How do they like to be contacted? Should you Facebook friend them? These things are really important to understand inside out, and our managers work with multiple programs. And so over time, they accumulate an awareness of hundreds, if not thousands, of these affiliates, with a very small, concentrated number that they can go to with sometimes very detailed questions. So, you can't overemphasize that point. I think that's why everybody shows up to networking shows.
Yeah.
Fifth up, we have Know the Competition. This is something that we regularly do. It might also be called Know the Marketplace. There's public or semi-public information out there. I don't think that it's worth obsessing over, but you should know where your offer stands in the marketplace, what are the cashback rates of competitors in certain verticals. That can make a really big difference. What kind of creative are they offering? Are they doing special links? Are they getting traction with those special links? What kind of marketing methodologies are affiliates using? And that information sometimes can go back to a company and prompt much needed change. Unfortunately, it also often can't, and things will get queued up like your competitors might all be working with pay-per-call, but there might be a slowdown of that happening with your business. We see this a lot with our clients, and at the very least, you want to be aware of it. Next up, very appropriate for this show and your work, the work that you do is learn. I look at your site a lot. You guys have a nice site. You come out with good content, and I hope your partnership with Peace is going well.
Thank you.
He is certainly a character and certainly a knowledgeable fellow, as are you.
Thank you.
I think it's important to get out to the shows, and one thing I think is really a challenge is it's when you've been around the industry for a long time, you have to, I think, accept the fact that when you go out to learn about content, you have to dig for those nuggets. It's not like you're a newbie and everything you learn is new and great. You got to put in time and say, hey, this company is going bankrupt over here. What does that mean for that part of the industry? This new technology is coming on board. And keep your eyes to the ground. You got to filter through a lot of content, but it's really important to do. Our company, we have named Wade, director of marketing, and this is a very large part of his job. And he filters that information out, communicates it back to our team and to our clients. You have to know what's out there, and maybe not tomorrow, but by next week, by next month.
Absolutely.
Next up, this is really important in working with clients, is have a clear understanding of your goals.
Yeah.
You, I think, need to probe to the point of discomfort on the client side, or if you're in-house on your company side, to understand and clarify what the goals are. Are you looking for growth? Are you looking for profitability? That's a classic one. Are you looking for a certain mix of publishers? Is that mix of publishers you're looking for realistic? Everybody wants to work with more content guys, or it seems that way. And sure enough, the plurality of the guys that we track in our database are content guys, thousands and thousands of them. But they might not have the volume of, say, the coupon and the loyalty guys, at least for retail sites. We looked at $100 million in revenue driven over a period of months by our clients, again, excluding eBay. And a majority of that revenue was driven by guys that we had tagged as loyalty and coupon guys. I think it's very important to engage with those. We see tremendous elasticity. It's a much longer conversation, probably how to engage, but if those goals aren't discussed internally, and those goals are not shared fairly with affiliates, and you're not receptive to what the affiliate goals are, you're going to have problems, and you're going to have a suboptimal program.
Excellent.
Next up, this one is from our program managers. Short and sweet. You got to manage your time effectively. They wrote something I thought was kind of funny. There are only so many hours in a day, and affiliate management is going to need all of them. It's certainly a job that can be very all-consuming. And personally, I use a task management software I like a lot called NOSBE, N-O-Z-B-E. It's based on getting things done, a book I very much recommend. And it's all about prioritization and focus. Easier said than done, but my best days are when I follow a system like that. And then also, for us as an agency, we have to manage time among the whole team. And so we actually have breakdowns and use project management software and our CRM and things like that to make that happen. And I find what I would add to that would be the importance of an audit. Stuff can get lost within a day. If you review it every week, every month as appropriate, then you can look back at what's getting done and not getting done, and that'll help focus.
Excellent.
Next up is personalize your communication. Pretty short and sweet. Goes back to the relationship aspect. You can do mass personalization, certainly. That goes back to knowing how people like to be contacted, and sharing experiences with people and so forth. Number 10, this relates back to goals. Keep an eye on the big picture. What are your goals? How close are you? With our clients, we'll regularly do things like track against goal on a monthly or even a weekly basis, quarterly, annual, semi-annual kind of reviews, keeping track of, going back to education in the industry, we actually just use everything that's available in the marketplace, pay-per-call, social media affiliates, so on and so forth, and the current level of engagement. Oftentimes when there's technical engagement that's necessary, it can't be integrated right away. But again, it's just important to be aware of that. And you keep an eye on the big picture. And then finally, the team threw in a bonus tip here, which I found to be very helpful in my own life, which is be patient. We've had programs that have literally taken years to ramp up. They've been sort of in a seasonal space. I'm thinking of one in particular that's just a massive, massive program in season today. And a lot of affiliates, this is a retail program, didn't believe you could sell pool supplies online. And by gosh, you certainly can. When you're working with people and they're not getting back to you, we try and really understand where it is they're coming from and understand that they have a lot of demands on their time, and just get reasonable commitments, reasonably communicated. It's always important, I think, to accept no as an answer. If you're working with an affiliate, it could be no forever, it could be no, not right now. But when you have those channels of communication, you can get those kinds of answers.
Excellent. Brook, thank you very much. If people want to engage with you and connect with you, how do they do that?
Anyone who would like to speak with me about services we offer or anything in the industry is most welcome to reach out to me. Brook, B-R-O-O-K, at Schaaf-PC, that's SCHAAFPC.com, is the easiest way to reach me.
Thank you very much. I'm Murray Newlands. You're watching Performance Marketing Insider TV. I'll see you next time.